Hey y'all, IRIX Guy here, and I don't wear short socks and I don't short stocks. So within this video, I'm going to talk about what is a pump and dump. Now that's terminology you've probably heard if you've even dabbled with the stock market a little bit. And I want to preface this video with, this video is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm sharing this video for entertainment purposes only. So a pump and dump, you probably heard it a lot, and you've probably heard it in regards to penny stocks. You know, typically stocks that are trading for less than $1 per share, typically stocks that are listed on the OTCBB, over-the-counter bulletin board. And most often, the pump and dumps are going to be prevalent on the over-the-counter bulletin board versus what are referred to as the big boards. Big boards being, just a few examples, NASDAQ, American Stock Exchange, and New York Stock Exchange. So the over-the-counter bulletin boards, the regulation and requirements doesn't seem to be as stiff as maintaining a publicly traded company on the big board. So for that reason, a lot of these pump and dumps are on the OTCBB, over-the-counter bulletin board, the OTC markets. So how does a pump and dump typically pan out? So typically a pump and dump, there's the first part of it, there's traders. It could be an individual trader or a group of traders, normally a group of traders. There's hedge funds. There are people that consider it to be an investment, you know, the people that have not done their due diligence typically. And what happens, those traders, those hedge funds, they're typically front-loaded. Front-loaded simply meaning that they acquired large position of shares when the price per share was very low. So once you've got a lot of people, a lot of individuals, group of traders, hedge funds that have a vested interest in seeing that price per share increase, then often what you'll see is, and there's so many layers to this, you know, for fun, just go out and read in the forums. And, you know, I've been doing this recreationally for many years. And you see all kinds of things that are said and how they're spun. So a typical pump and dump, you could have something as simple as a company releasing what's called a press release, often referred to as a PR. And within that press release, it sounds positive, but if you really dissect what the company has released, it's typically a lot of forward-looking statements with no substance, meaning that, you know, upon a quick read, it may seem to be like something big's about to happen. But if you really dissect it, there's really no substance to it, meaning that it's basically just a bunch of fluff. So in the scenario of a pump and dump, what traders and or groups of traders, hedge funds typically do is, one of the techniques is they take that news, that press release from the company, and they don't necessarily insert false claims, but they speak about it, and they speak about, well, what about this? Might this mean that? You know, they create all of these question marks, and people are like, well, wow, you know, the company did mention that within a press release. Is that a possibility? And often it encourages people to, to want to load up early while it's still cheap. So what happens in that situation, if the pump is well orchestrated enough, typically the price per share goes up rapidly. And, you know, you've probably heard the phrase volume before price. Well, people that are scanning the markets at the end of the trading day, they see a ticker where the volume has radically increased they may dive into that for based solely upon the metrics alone. You know, a stock surges a few 100% in one trading day with an enormous amount of volume, more volume than it's seen in the previous few months or years. That could be a bullish signal. You know, then you've got people that are attracted because they're scanning as well, and they see, wow, there's a bunch of volume, what's in here? They do a quick but not deep dive analysis of the stock. And because of the pumpers, they may, in their mind, put together a, wishful theory as to what may be happening, what may happen in the future with this particular ticker. So they may jump in. They may not go in that big, but they may look at the price per share and feel, oh man, quote unquote, this is cheap. And they may add a lot to their position. So, or they may, they would be adding their initial position in that scenario. So that adds to the volume. The people that were trading basically, solely upon the fundamentals, the volume, that's adding to the volume when those people buy in. And then if the storytelling becomes even more elaborate, then you may see even more people attracted. It starts to raise, one of the things now didn't used to be prevalent in the past. I mean, I was trading before. You had you only had brick and mortar brokers. You didn't have, or most people didn't have the ability to place a stock trade online like, exists today. So in today's world, with online trading, very quick and easy execution of a buy and or sell, it makes it easy to get in, and the speed of trading today is amplified because it's so convenient. People don't have to drive to the brick and mortar and place a trade. People don't have to withdraw funds and take to a brick and mortar broker to place a trade. And because of social media and all the penny stock forums, etc., it's easy for someone to think that they know something and suck up this story, and then in essence they become, they feel that, oh man, they're part of the players that are in early. They start to have that feeling. Now, one thing with any sort of stock trade, whether it's penny stock or big board stock, never become emotionally attached to that trade, because trading on emotion is one of the worst things that any trader can do, especially with these OTC BB stocks, the ones that are typically pump and dumps, because I mean, it will typically rise at a rapid rate if it does rise. If, sometimes there's pump and dumps and they never get off the ground. Or maybe they only increase by a few percent and then boom, they tank. When the people that were front loaded realize that the pump wasn't perceived as positive. So they get out before it really tanks. Now, another scenario is a stock goes way up because of a pump and dump. And then you've got the reverse of that. So traders that are wanting to see it go down, they start shorting it, because it's the opposite. People that are shorting a stock are expecting the price per share to plummet. So once it reaches what let's say the front-loaded traders felt was the top, or the perceived top, a lot of them will start to short. So they profit on the way up, and then they potentially profit on the way down. Again, extreme amount of risk. And there's also the possibility that with these pump and dumps, a lot of the volume is the product of embellished news. There may have been a press release from the company, but it's embellished to make it sound better than it is, and make you, not you, but anyone, question what are the real meat and potatoes that are part of that that press release from the company. So it's a very, I don't know a word for it. Pump and dumps are nasty, mean, nasty, and vicious. So, but just because a stock is part of a pump and dump doesn't mean that that company might actually release substantial and extremely positive news. And in that scenario, the stock really could rocket. And in that scenario, the people that were embellishing the original PR, then they in essence gain a perceived level of recognition and respect, because the perception is that they saw that coming. Whereas in reality, they didn't see it coming. They were behind a pump and dump, and it just so happened that during that pump and dump that the company actually released something of substance, not just a forward-looking statement, but something that organically made that stock's price per share increase. So pump and dumps are mean, nasty, and vicious animals. So, again, this video, entertainment purposes only, should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm sharing this video and all of my videos for entertainment purposes only. But it's just fascinating to dissect and sit on the sidelines and see how a lot of these pump and dumps pan out. And it's if you like watching shows, like mystery shows on TV, I don't watch a lot of TV because I always do better things. But if you do watch mystery shows, being getting addicted to sitting on the sidelines and researching penny stocks, how they trade, why they go up in price per share, why they plummet in price per share, just putting all those clues together. Again, no two stocks trade the same way, but with years of experience, it's not easy, but it's easier to spot trends, to spot warning signs, and to spot something that could be good and not the product of a pump and dump. So my best, not advice, because this is for entertainment purposes only, but what I always say is, it's fun, it's speculation, and it's, in the case of any stock, I always take the stance of guilty until proven innocent. Until a ticker can prove to me with 100% confidence, with evidence that I can back up, and substantiate their claims. Until a company can do that, my assumption is that it's just a pump and dump. Tell me what you think within the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon when you do, and check out all of my stock market videos. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IRIX Guy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.